Thank you. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the chance to speak to you. You're correct, Jordan. This is a beautiful group of faces. Like, this is nice. A lot of kindness coming up this direction. I like it. And yes, I am here to talk about curing the world. What I've been assigned to speak on is to persuade with power. And power is one of those words that, like, if it's used for selfish self-glorification, it's like the epitome of evil. But if it's used for service, it's wonderful. It's one of the greatest goods that can come into our world. So with that kind of massive target, I'll use a big arrow. And that big arrow is that we can cure the world. If we can cure the world, why haven't we? Because, when I say cure the world, there's something. Praise God for what you communicated. That's such truth for everybody, no matter our experience. But we all have something. There's things that we carry. There's parts that are broken. So, I think the reason that we're so inefficient at curing the world is we don't understand the tools that we're working with. We use words like mind and heart and soul and strength and gut and tenacity and power and emphasis and all these things that we bring to the table. But what are the tools that we really have control of? Because I venture this guess, I make this hypothesis. If each of us really learn the tools that we're working with, we'd be able to recognize it in others, so that when someone makes some passing comment that they're just empty-headed and they're not thinking about you at all and you just happen to be an object in their path, that the waviness that comes from their wake of saying, ooh, do I doubt myself? Did I do something wrong? If we understood the tools that we work with in this superpower of an existence, of an organic life, you take into account what we can do, the ability that we have to put pieces together. So let's take a tool first, the mind. The mind. Instead of telling you what the mind is, let me give you something that the mind is not. The mind is not the end-all source of our existence. There's a wonderful book that just came out a few years ago called Proof of Heaven by a doctor named Eben Alexander. He's a professor at Stanford, or he was at, I believe, Harvard. He had a bacterial infection on his brain. And as a neurosurgeon, the part of the brain that we in the scientific world explain near-death experiences with, for him, shut down 100%. There is no way scientifically he could have had a near-death experience, and yet he did. And as one of the foremost brain surgeons in the world, who better could have a voice to say there's something beyond just what we put up here in our existence? One tool. Second tool, the heart. The heart. What is your heart? I know I feel it when I get excited. Sometimes I can feel it from the outside. My kids used to love to feel it. They'd feel my chest pumping. There's an have you ever heard of amino acid residue? Any of you? Oh, I'm not surprised. That's beautiful. You realize it's the second leading substance in the body behind water. You know what this substance does? It connects your imagination to your body. Connects to your framework, what you do when you're by yourself, what you do in your head, to your body. That's why, here, let's take example. Close your eyes. Picture the last day you had that was like just a truly happy day, a moment that just everything went right. All the things that drove you nuts about your spouse wasn't going on. The people that just say the wrong thing, you know what? They didn't go to the store that morning. That day. You got it? From that day till now, I'll come back. From that day till now, have you experienced some point of brokenness? Have you experienced something where someone offended you? To where someone hurt your feelings? To where someone just said the wrong thing? That act, that break, that cure for the world is as simple as as power. We have a choice to glorify self, or we have a choice to serve others. But it's the tools that we work with. That's where we cure the world. So when I say give, I'm not saying give to someone else. I'm saying the next time you have an experience as you exist in a daily life, when something comes at you and you have a visceral reaction and you just feel like, I've just been hornswoggled and I'm ready, I've had enough, I'm coming at you. Know your tools and give to yourself. Step back. Recognize what's happened in your amino acids and peptides in your body that connect your tools to your heart, to your mind. Know who you are and what you're working with. And if you serve someone, I guarantee we will begin the infection that will cure the world. Now, let me give you a fun game. Because that's heavy. You know, it's like, okay, shake it off. Shake it off. Okay, so this is the tool. This is the game. I love playing this game. Next time you see someone who does that, who breaks your pleasantness, who gets in the way, who cuts you off, realize all they are is they are a 9-year-old version of themselves. And when they were 9 years old, or they're 4 years old, that 4-year-old had something in their fight or flight safety mechanism that was broken. And it said, I gotta fight. And if you can picture them as toddlers and see their version, like imagine them in your imagination as little toddlers expressing their power and saying, I'm gonna do it my way. They might be naughty, but it'll be a whole lot more fun to deal with them in the process of curing the world. Thanks so much.